Okay, now we're going to put the hoops on the hand cart. We're working with hand cart number 13. So number 13, if this was packed right, they should all be 13. So take off the Velcro strip. Please put it in the bag so we don't lose it. And then these hoops, this is just a retention strap. It keeps the bend in these hoops for storage. And that will go in the bag. So now we have 13E, 13F, and 13G. Arrows also go forward. So E is front, F is in the middle, G is at the back. And we're going to start at the front with E. Now these are secured with the long bolts, and it's best to put the bottom one in first, and we usually come from the outside, put the nut on the inside down here at the bottom, and again everything should go in finger tight. Shouldn't be any problem. Then they're putting it in on the other side. Get your bolt ready, go in from the outside, nut on the back. Finger tighten before we tighten anything. Now we're going to do that for the middle and the rear the same way, except we're going to show you one different thing for the middle one. Oh, and I need to point out one other thing. If you come across a hoop that has a W, that means we need a washer. And that's to make sure that we get the right connection so we can get these tight. So this will go in here. And we're going to get one in place here. So I'm going to talk while you put it. You got a washer for that? We had washers. Here. Oh. So a washer will go underneath the T-nut. Yeah, put it underneath the T-nut. And then from the inside, you'll put the bolt in from the outside of the frame. Yeah, do the top one. Long one. And see the washer on the T-nut? Show them how that is there, Scott. That's how the washer just fits over. And again, finger tight. Oop. Now if you don't have a W, you don't need a washer. Just put in the bolt and the T-nut. Get it lined up. And you should be able to finger tighten everything at first. Now, on the bottom one, that's the wrong one. We need the medium length one. You have to be very careful with this one, you guys, because there'll always be a gap right here. See this gap? We don't want to tighten that up too tight. You slide it in the bottom, put the T-nut on the back, hand tighten. Now, using your Allen wrenches, throw me another Allen wrench. Okay, we don't want to tighten this until they've got their side on yet. Now that theirs is on, we'll tighten the top first. Put the wrench on the T-nut. And you remember, we only just tighten this up snugly, not really tight. This one here, you have to be very careful. Do not over tighten this one, because as you see the gap here, you can just keep cranking that down, and you don't want to do that. It should be tight enough that it doesn't move on you. And I'm having a problem, so I'm going to stop. I'm going to undo it. It was starting to bind up on me. Something's not working, so let's see what's wrong. It looks like we have a little problem with the T-nut or the end. I'm not sure. Let's try and put it together. So we probably got a problem with this T-nut. Let's set this T-nut aside and we're going to get another one. What's this? It's magic. I just get a T-nut. Okay, so let's try and see if this one works. Sorry we're spending time on this, but we need to know what works and doesn't work. Okay. Let's try this one. Okay, there we go. And it should be fairly firm. You don't want any of these things sliding around. Oh, we haven't tightened this one yet. Let's tighten this one. So you want to tighten enough so it does not move. Tighten the bottom one. There. Now everything should be pretty snug. Now I'm going to give you one warning here. We never want to push or pull the hand carts from the hoops. They're a very weak spot. Always do all your pushing from the frame or the sides. That'll be okay. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and we'll put the one on the back, but you know how we're going to do it. So we're just going to... Okay, you guys, to keep the hand carts lasting a long time, we've used different methods over the years, and you might have different ones depending on which cart you have. We just have a little rubberized mat that can go in there that you lay down on the floor. Especially if you're using buckets, you have to have something there. We also have some pieces of wood that we sometimes use. Some of them are notched, and we'll just show you this one. These can just go in like this. We got another piece that's supposed to go with it. And those little notches fit in there, and then we have another piece that fits here. I don't know if we have it. Oh, here we go. We'll show you how it goes. See, we were really prepared. We had it with us. Okay, and see those little tabs that are out there? They just go around. That will help protect these so that the buckets don't scratch up the plywood, because it is plywood underneath. Okay, now we're going to show you how to put on the canopy. The canopy may seem confusing, but it's rather simple. The drawstrings are on this end here, right here. And the drawstrings go in the front or the rear. These can go either way that you want to. So I'm going to give you this end here to go over the front end. And we'll just drag it over the top. So we're just going to take this, come up over the top, and down on the front. The canopies go outside the frame and in the wheel. Now that the hand cart's draped over the frame and the hoops, we need to secure these on the inside, and these are important so that the load doesn't push out, because you can feel the wheels right there. This is designed so that we can control that load, and there's these ropes or fabric that are sewed into these, and it's sewed on a slight angle. You want to go around a joint just like this, so that when you tighten it, this doesn't move anywhere. And it's just tie it like you're tying your shoe. Just go across there, put a loop, don't put 2 double knots. That's fine, just like that. And see how when we get the other side pulled down, this will become tight and your gear won't go out and push the wheel. Make sure your gear doesn't rub against the wheel or you'll put holes in here. Same thing on the front. You got your tab, put one in behind, one across the top. Pull it down, put a loop so you can take it off easy, and now this won't move. So let's move to this side. We'll do this one. Really simple. Okay, this is what we're going to try to achieve on here. We've gone ahead and tied this one, but we wanted you to see what it's going to look like when we're done. We're going to go to the front of the hand cart, and we're going to show you how you do this. It'll take a little bit of time. Oh, we got a broken one here, but we're going to show you what we're going to do. We've got the ends tied off on the inside. We're going to bring the top. There's two layers right here that we're going to tie down, so just so you can see that. Bring the top one over. I like to do it this way. People do it many different ways. If you go behind that center slat, everything is out towards the front. Pull it up snug. Sometimes you have somebody put their finger on there if you want. And tighten it up. This will keep everything together here. We're going to do the same thing on the bottom. Pass behind. Pass behind. Going to kind of cinch it up. You want to use your finger there, right there. Go ahead, right in front of that. That makes it a little easier. If I can tie my shoe. Doesn't look like I can tie my shoe, does it? Okay. Now these aren't designed to go all the way over. It's just close. Now you have to be careful on these. The cord that's in the ends of these, they're all sewn together in here, so it's not going to come out. But you want to be very careful. See this tear right here? This happens because people just go like this and start pulling. And they've even pulled the grommet out of here. See this? Unacceptable. Anyway, the way to do this is to pull like this and work that material up into the top. Pull straight down, pull the material around. We'll need to fix this canopy. But if this happens to you and tears out, it's because someone's pulling on it. So when you get to about that position, you can do the same thing again. Go behind, pull around. Don't pull too tight because it's going to stress that. Same thing again, you're just going to tie a bow. Thank you. Now you've got a covered wagon, or a hand cart that looks like a covered wagon, and it'll mostly keep all your gear dry if it's rainy.